Hey guys, it's finally here. Watch the waters as the new UX-15 Shark Scale is on the hunt. Owner, Mako Maiden, finally gets a new blade built like the last Shark blade, but even lower and looking to give it a massive upper attacks. This deck set comes with Tyranno Roar 170 level, the Hell's Brave Jaggy 360 gear flat, so let's get into it. Let's first get into the CX Bay with the new yellow and green Hell's Lock chip. Pretty cool looking. Next we come to the black and yellow Brave Blade, a decent attack blade. The Assist Blade Jaggy is a translucent yellow piss color. Jaggy is probably one of the best for attacks as it doesn't get in the way of the blades. We get a green 360 ratchet, one of the oldest in the game. And finally, a yellow gear flat bit, high extreme rail hitter. The deck set comes with a CX tool. All you do is line up the assist blade with the main blade, put the lock chip in there, and then use the CX tool like you would do a bit to put it all together. This bay is a pretty good filler one for the deck with good weight and fast knockout power. Next we come to the recolor of Level, one of my favorite attack bits, and we're finally getting another one even though it's locked behind another set. Side by side for the original Level, people said the black version is fixed with the center level piece coming out more, but my original bit, its center level piece, it actually comes out to around the same amount. We finally get the new 170 ratchet, a one-sided ratchet good with one singular hit knockouts, and at 70 height can be good for destabilizing other bays. And we finally get the red recolor of Tyranno Roar blade, a blade molded after the Phoenix Wing blade, but with smoother edges. It was once a Hasbro exclusive, now coming to Takara Tomi's blade. I will say the 170 ratchet actually has a pretty tight fit. Altogether, this bay gives off good aesthetics and color, and the bay has a decent weight, just like the original, and a good addition to this deck set. We finally come to the new underflat bit. This is the new lowest attack type bit out right now. Like flat, I don't expect this bit to have the best stamina, but we're gonna see about the knockout potential. Seen here compared to the low flat, low rush, and under needle, showing the difference between the low and the under, with under being the lowest of the bits. Then we move on to the 450 ratchet. The blue and hot pink scheme is done really well, but the big thing is we have the new lowest height ratchet yet, with a normal connecting piece unlike 455, which is funny because this ratchet technically eliminates the need for 455. But the lowest height comes with the price, with 4 sides and is very burst prone. Not only is it nerfed by being 4 sides, but it doesn't really lock in that tight as well either. So you're gonna need a bit that has high burst resistance. Now we come to the new Shark Scale blade. Even though it says it's 2-bladed, each blade has 3 little scales that hook upward for upper attacks. The first little scale on the blade has a good slope for good knockout finishes. The bottom of the blade is crazy looking too. As you can see, the blade is heavier on one side, a little bit unbalanced, which I'm assuming is going to be used for the bay spinning more to the rail. Here is a side-by-side comparison of Shark Edge and the Scale blade, and looks like the Scale has a big upgrade to the blade, but Edge does have a bigger hook at the end. All put together, this blade is a good looking blade. It is short, so short kings everywhere are rejoicing. And compared to Shark Edge, Scale is also shorter. With the weight of this bay being very good for what it is, let's take it out for a test spin. Now, before we get into the battles with the deck set, I will say I did do a video prior to this one with battles of Hellsbrave and Tyranno Roar. I'll leave the link to that one in the description, and I will say I don't really think there was much of a difference between what that video would produce with those old bays and with the new bays that I have. And before we even do that, let's get into a battle with the older brother Shark Edge 360 low flat. First of 5 points. Now let's see how Tyranno Roar 170 level does against Shark Scale. Now let's see how Hellsbrave Jaggy 360 gear flat does. Now we're going to put Shark Scale on to better competitors. Let's start off with the tank build of Nightmail 760 Hexa. Let's see Silver Wolf 980 free ball. Now let's see Impact Drake 460 Rush. Now let's try some better builds. Let's go with Golem Rock 660 Wedge. It wouldn't be a test without the Stamina King Wizard Rod 960 ball. And finally, the left spin stealing Dragoon 560 level. Now let's see how Shark Scale does with the build of 450 Low Rush. And now for final thoughts. I will say this blade does exactly what it's supposed to do. It gets over finishes and knockouts like crazy, and this thing hits hard. This blade will find its way into the meta soon enough. We come to the 450 ratchet. This ratchet is very loose and 4 sides is burst prone. Even if you tilt it a little bit, it is going to self burst. Didn't put it in here, but it had a couple times doing that. Besides that, it is a nice low ratchet. We come to the under flat bit. Even though with the low height and the bit does lack stamina, it does deliver high speed, big hits, and over finishes. And let's not forget it's a ratchet sniper. I will say this compared with the 450 and the blade are not a bad combo. Actually, just like Shark Edge, this thing out of the box, it gives a good heavy hitting performance and couldn't be mad about this build straight out. I see this having a lot of potential and this as a whole set being such good for its pieces. That's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos to come.